Hello there, I'm a day late reviewing 1942's Road to Morocco. Between the years of 1940 and 1962, Bob Hope and Bing Crosby made 7 road pictures, 6 of which co-starred Dorothy Lamour, and she was in the 7th, but not in a starring role. Between the years of 1978 and 1980, I fell in love with these movies when I saw them on KTLA's Family Film Festival, hosted by Tom Hatton, and have enjoyed them ever since. Now, even though they are referred to as the Road series, none of the movies actually are related, and there is no continuity between them. In each movie, Hope, Crosby, and Lamour play a new set of characters. However, these characters usually share some similar traits. Hope and Crosby are friends that are either entertainers or con men out to make a quick buck. Also, they are confirmed bachelors, but they have a weakness for the ladies, and this often leads to trouble. While on the run, they will encounter Lamour, and both will vie for her affections. There's a lot of fourth wall breaking, and at least one recurring joke in the form of a game of patty cake. None of it is meant to be taken seriously, as all they are trying to do is entertain the audience, so you will see plenty of songs, some dancing, and lots of silly situations that are making fun of some of the movie tropes of the day, such as Jungle Pictures, High Seas Pictures, and Arabian Nights Pictures. Which brings us to Road to Morocco. Short review. Hope and Crosby find themselves penniless in Morocco, and in order to make a quick buck, Crosby's character sells Hope's character to a Moroccan wanting to buy Hope's character. Crosby does this with the intention of busting Hope out of wherever he is being held, and then the two of them leaving with the money. He then finds out that Hope has been bought by Dorothy Lamour's character for her to marry, and Crosby butts in trying to steal her affections before the actual marriage. Hijinks then ensue. The movie is a lot of fun. Several songs are sung, some dancing is done, and lots of jokes fly. I really enjoyed this movie and highly recommend it. Check it out. Long review. Are you ready to be broed hard and put up wet?
I can't go on.
Our movie starts with a bang, literally, as we see a ship racked by several explosions. Soon after, we are introduced to our protagonists, one Jeff Peters and one Orville Turkey Jackson. They are adrift at sea, but luckily they soon wash ashore of the African nation of Morocco. How do they know it's Morocco?
Hey, look. Could have thought of another way to get us here.
Well, that was handy. This leads into our first song, and it demonstrates that this is all just silliness, not to be taken seriously.
I hear this country's where they do the dance of the 7 veils. We tell you more, but we would have the censor on our tails.
The objective at hand, they are simply trying to entertain the audience. A novel concept here in the 2020s. But to place this in context, this movie came out in November of 1942, almost a year after the United States had been pulled into World War II. So it's understandable that people might want something lighthearted to lift their spirits, as it was not certain at this time that the Axis powers would lose. So after our protagonists make their way through the desert for a while, they see a city in the distance. Once there, they set about finding some food. They soon discover that the locals see the mentally handicapped as sacred, and so Jeff convinces Turkey to pretend to be mentally handicapped to get some free food. There's only one problem.
What can I do for you, gentlemen? Bogus.
Turkey is sent packing, but there is an upside to it. He gets a hand job from an unknown female.
Oh my.
Shortly afterwards, Jeff and Turkey reunite, and they head into a restaurant. Here they are going to perpetuate the image of the ugly American as they get a bunch of food with the intent of ducking out the back once they are done. But before the bill comes due, a man shows up and wants to talk with Jeff. Jeff comes back to the table with a wad of cash, and it turns out that the man offered to buy Turkey from Jeff, and Jeff sold him. Jeff explains that he will rescue Turkey, and they will split the money just before a pair of goons grab Turkey and haul him off. About a week later, Jeff is singing a song and whistling, hoping that Turkey will hear him and let him know where he is. At the end of the song, a paper falls to his feet from a tower of the palace. It is a note from Turkey saying that Jeff needs to forget about him and flee as he is being tortured day and night, and he doesn't want that to be Jeff's fate as well. Now, as you watch the road movies, one thing will become clear. Even though Hope and Crosby characters are friends, they will often try to screw one another over. Quite frequently over money or a woman. In this case, we have seen Jeff selling Turkey into bondage.
Oh, please, let the prince dance with me. Oh, please, fairy godmother, let the prince pick me.
He'll pick you, he'll pick you.
Which, as we will see, isn't always a bad thing.
And you do exist.
It turns out that the mystery woman who liked Turkey's hand is Princess Shalmar, and they are set to marry. Jeff isn't having it, however, because, well, let's face it, it's Dorothy Lamour. So he decides to stick around and try and steal Princess Shalmar's affections. It doesn't help that she is clearly attracted to Jeff. But she explains that her astrologist has advised her to marry Turkey. Shalmar does invite Jeff to stick around, however. Later, Jeff is singing a song and is overheard by Shalmar. She steps out onto her balcony and lets Jeff serenade her. Infatuated with his singing, she comes down to walk with him, and he continues to serenade her. Princess Shalmar's maid, Miramah, is sweet on Turkey and goes to his bedroom to tell him that the princess is being unfaithful to him with Jeff. She says that now they can run off and be together, but Turkey isn't ready to give up the idea of being a prince. Back out on the palace grounds, Jeff and Shalmar are now talking. Shalmar admits that she likes Jeff, and it's all more reason for her to marry Turkey. Jeff doesn't understand, but Turkey arrives and breaks it up before anything more can be learned. Cut to some time later, with a pack of Arabs riding into town firing their guns into the air. It's Muley Qasim, and he is upset because he was supposed to marry the princess, and now he's hearing that she is set to marry some American. Shalmar takes Qasim to her astrologer, who explains that the stars say that the man who marries Princess Shalmar first will die a violent death within a week, and that the second man to marry her will live a long and happy life. Things are much clearer now. After the royal undertakers come and measure Turkey for his coffin under the pretext of making him a suit, Miramah recognizes them and warns them that all is not well. They decide to leave town, and so Turkey goes to Jeff and says that he loves Miramah, and that if Jeff wants Shalmar, he can have her. Jeff is happy with this turn of events, and agrees to soothe any potential broken heart Shalmar will have upon hearing that Turkey doesn't want her. Later, we see the astrologer and his assistant. The assistant tells the astrologer that he found some fireflies in the telescope when cleaning it, and the astrologer is horrified. Shalmar's charts are wrong because he mistook the fireflies for Venus and Jupiter, and this changes her horoscope. He's going to have to do a new reading. Meanwhile, Turkey and Jeff break the good news to Shalmar. She can be with Jeff. Shalmar, of course, disagrees and says that the wedding with Turkey is still on, and has her guards take him into custody to prepare for the wedding.
Bogus.
The astrologer then arrives with the news saying that her first wedding will be a long and happy one. She then turns to Jeff and says that she will marry him, that she isn't interested in Muley Qasim. As that is going on, the astrologer's assistant goes to Muley Qasim's encampment to let him know that Princess Shalmar's horoscope has changed, and if she marries the American, it will be a long and happy marriage. Muley Qasim and his band of Arabs then rush back to the city to break up the marriage. Qasim catches them as the princess' entourage is leaving the city, and fights break out between the Imperial Guards and Qasim's warriors. Eventually, Qasim wins the day, and our heroes are captured and are being taken back to Qasim's camp. Halfway there, they are cut loose from their camel, but are still wrapped up in their bonds. Later we find them walking over the dunes free of their bonds. How they do it, you might ask? Well...
Say, how did we get loose with our hands and feet tied and everything?
If we told anybody, they'd never believe it.
Oh, let's not tell them, huh?
Proceed.
I'll allow it. Wandering around the desert, they have a couple of heat-induced hallucinations, including a song with Shalmar, but eventually they make their way to Muley Qasim's encampment. But they are captured and thrown in a cell. Turkey then rants about everything that has happened, and Jeff says that he already knows all that.
Yeah, but the people who came in the middle of the picture don't.
You mean they missed my song?
This was 74 years before Deadpool, folks. They then ask the guard if anyone has ever escaped from the cell, and the guard says yes and begins to explain what happened. And this is why people should reconsider the whole DEI idea of hiring people and might want to return to a merit-based system, as the guard places his gun down where Turkey can get to it. Meanwhile, in the main tent, Muley Qasim has invited a rival sheik to attend the wedding as a show of goodwill towards peace. They are all enjoying the entertainers when Jeff and Turkey come in disguised as members of Qasim's tribe. Jeff has an idea of how to disrupt the wedding, pranks to sow dissension among the two tribes. Hopefully tensions will boil over and they can grab Shalmar and Miramah in the ensuing chaos. First up is the leaking cup trick. The sheik is not amused, but Muli Qasim apologizes, saying it was an accident and that no insult was meant. Next we have exploding cigarettes, and then the old hot foot. And this brings to mind the old quote from Ian Fleming's Goldfinger. Once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, but 3 times is enemy action. And the rival sheik subscribes to that opinion. A fight breaks out between the two tribes, and Jeff and Turkey use the chaos to grab the girls and make a break for it. They then make it to the nearest port and catch a boat back to New York, where Jeff will marry Shalmar and Turkey will marry Miramah. The end. So there you have it, folks. Road to Morocco. It's a very silly movie whose sole intent is to entertain. I think most of the humor translates well to modern times, although like any comedy, some of it's time-specific. There are a number of songs, all of which I enjoyed. The movie was directed by David Butler, best known for A Connecticut Yankee, Caught in the Draft, Road to Morocco, and The Princess and the Pirate. It was written by Frank Butler and Don Hartman. Butler is best known for writing 4 of the 7 road movies: Road to Singapore, Road to Zanzibar, Road to Morocco, and Road to Bali. Hartman is best known for being the co-writer of 3 of the road movies: Road to Singapore, Road to Zanzibar, Road to Morocco, and also another Bob Hope movie, My Favorite Blonde. It stars Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, Dorothy Lamour, Donna Drake, and Anthony Quinn. And it's really good to see Hope, Crosby, and Lamour back together in action. The movie was released before there were any ratings that we have to come to know today. But it was passed by the Board of Censors, which means it's okay for the general public. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 22 minutes, so it goes by pretty quick. It received a 7 out of 10 per IMDb. Metacritic has it at 75 out of 100, and Rotten Tomatoes has it at 79% per critics and 78% per audience scores. I think those are fair, but I'd give it an 8 out of 10 myself. So if you're looking for a bit of old-fashioned fun, I say check it out. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time.
It's one small step for man.
Now cut that